Hello, my name is Hugh Hutchison and this is my first YouTube video. Welcome. So, just a bit about myself first. I'm 20 years old, I'm a second year university student in the UK, here at my uni house right now. And if you haven't seen my channel name yet or bothered to look, Hugh Hutchison Gym, this is going to be a fitness related account. So, mostly gymnastics, surprisingly, because that's my big focus right now, really trying to improve at that, but as well as lifting, and even a little bit of tricking sometimes, but mostly the first two. If you're not tricking us, I appreciate you. It feels like a bit of a niche, but maybe not anymore, who knows. So I just wanted to talk through, some little bits and bobs about my channel here. So just wanted to talk about the two main purposes I have for starting this channel and making these videos. So the first one is really to hold myself accountable. So I know that if I create content out of what I'm doing, it will really force me to progress, because it would be really sad to have a whole archive of videos where I'm just not really getting anywhere. Whereas for me, that's how I would feel. So putting out these videos kind of force that progression, and then maybe I feel a little bit better about my life, because not that anything's going especially wrong, just I don't feel as in control as I'd like to be. So I want to take hold of what I want to do, and this is how I'm going to do it. So the second purpose, I suppose, for this channel is for you guys. Now, I'm no expert, I'm just some guy, but that's, I feel like, what's really going to make it useful to you guys, because I am just some guy, some kid, some 20-year-old kid at uni. I don't have a specific plan for my life, so I'm just gonna start making this content. Maybe you realise you can do it too, because that's just it. I just want to make it real for you guys, make it feel like you can do it too, because even though I haven't achieved anything yet, I do strongly intend to. So like I mentioned before, I don't feel particularly in control of my life, not really like way out of control, nothing's really going wrong, but I feel like I'm kind of just watching my life happen, and I really want to take hold of it. And if you feel the same way, then we can do that together. And if you don't feel that way, maybe you're completely lost, then I hope I can be useful to you too. If you're completely on top of everything, I'd love some tips. But yeah. So mostly the videos that I'll be making is going to be about my training and about the things I do in my free time to supplement my training. So things like stretching, because I've been having really big problems with that recently, which is getting in the way of my gymnastic ability. So things like that. So videos from training sessions from the gym. I'm not sure about the formatting of the videos at the moment. I mean, right now this is kind of like a vlog, but I feel like for now it's going to be mostly clips of me talking over when I'm in public spaces, because busting out a camera in a public space is kind of nerve-wracking for a guy like me, so we'll see. But yeah, that's what you can expect to see. So training, voiceover after the fact, and I'll be trying to sprinkle in any little bits of knowledge I have, whether that's useful to you or not. You can pay attention or not, doesn't matter. It's just what I've learned doing the things I've been doing for how long I've been doing them. And also, if there's anything you guys wanted to see, like video formatting, content, whatever, you want to see that, as long as it's relevant in some respect, I'll do it, because I really want to, push out my comfort zone, and I feel like that would help me grow, doing things which are unfamiliar and new, but still relevant, because I'm not going to do like a mukbang or something, but we'll see. Yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. Yeah, I hope to see you again in my future videos, but we'll see. Yeah, goodbye. Thank you for watching. I did some stretching last night, so I know I just said thank you for watching, but here's just, me walking through my stretching routine as also as a benchmark of my progress. It'll show you where I am currently, so hopefully this will be a good reference point. So enjoy. If you don't want to see me stretching, feel free to click away, but yeah.
So to start the warm-up, I'm going to just do some very loose dynamic stretches like arm circles, as shown here. A little smile because my Alexa was messing up, but yeah. Sped up the video so this isn't a massive chore to watch, but yeah, some arm swings, you know, nothing crazy or specific or intense, you just gotta loosen up. And yeah, I was feeling pretty stiff, so, you know. Here just doing some little turns because, you know, loosen up the back a bit, and this I find especially difficult because I have pretty stiff lats. I'm not sure why, I think that's like a bit of a problem of mine. It makes my shoulders quite stiff, but, you know, I'll get more onto that later. So yeah, here's another little back twisting exercise to loosen yourself up. It's pretty good. Yeah, I forgot to do my neck stretches. I usually like to work in like a top-down method of stretching. So you start head, neck, shoulders, and then midsection, legs, and ankles, and then also wrists at the end. They kind of go hand in hand, wrists and ankles. Well, that's the way that I've always been taught, you know, when I was doing gymnastics from I say young age. I was about 9, which is pretty late for gymnastics actually. So yeah, doing some leg swings, and this specifically one here, I want to make sure to keep my toes pointing forward. I'm not rotating outwards here. Keep my legs straight, make sure to hit the oh, I don't know the specifics, I'm not a physio, but it's like the outside hip. I then do a slightly bent one where I turn my knee out here, or toes out. I just find from experience that this gives me a slightly different activation, and it's a very necessary stretch, especially when I'm at the gym doing squats. So I'm just doing some hamstring bounces, you know, casual stuff. I find it really hard to go straight into static hamstring stretching because I just am really stiff apparently. So yeah, there's a bit of dynamics, and now we're on to our static stretches. So some long 8 to 10 second held lunges followed by an extended another hamstring stretch, trying to keep the foot flat on the floor. Do about 3 repetitions per side. I only will show one side for the most part for this one because, you know, you've already seen it before. Trying to push that left hip into the ground, no touching with the hands, no support, just to make sure the weight's going. And I'm also trying to keep my back leg in line so that my hips aren't turning, because you don't want to be biased. And here you'll see my back, my lats being quite a problem, so I'm trying to keep my chest open here to stretch down the side of my lat while I'm doing the straddle stretch. It's very good for, I don't know what I'm talking about. It's just a good warm up, but yes, as you can see I struggle because of my stiff lats. Going down the middle as well. Now I turn my chest towards my leg, like to grab the bottom of my foot, makes it much easier, but arguably you shouldn't do that. You know, I am trying to progress with my flexibility here, so I'm honestly a bit of an amateur. Now we're on hamstrings, so, well, static hamstrings that is. So just trying to hold, keep my toes pointed, 8-10 seconds again, do a little rest. Sometimes I like to jiggle my legs, just right there. There you go. More stretching, more resting, and you just got to do a couple reps, 8 to 10 seconds, just, you know, loosen yourself up. I will then move on to giving my toes flexed to shorten my hamstrings to make the stretch a little bit more difficult, and as you'll see, my range of motion is much smaller because I don't train the stretches very often, and honestly I'm just not very flexible, so you will feel it a lot more down the back of your leg when you flex your toes up like this. So now I do these like sumo squats thing. I don't really see people doing a lot of these, but I find when I'm, especially at the gym when I'm doing squats, I kind of have to, like, it's an essential, otherwise I'll feel like really quite a lot of pain in my hips from when I'm squatting, so I find quite useful, followed by just like a little bit of like stood straddle. So now I'm doing wrists. I'm not keeping up with the video very well, but I'm doing wrists now, so turning my hands multiple directions, rocking back and forward, and yeah, you can go into press a position to make it a bit harder. So now I'm doing a shoulder stretch here, so you can see how poor my flexibility is here. So try to keep your hands behind you. It does hurt your elbows, so you can do a bent arm alternative just like this, but I don't think it's quite as effective. But if you have really like sore elbows or like hypermobility, it might be a better move, but preference of course. Going for it again. I do a couple more reps of this after this, but not included in the video. So now I'm moving on to actual exercises. So I'm trying to imitate the handstand position here for my press handstand, and as you can see, I'm trying to make that a straight line. So between my hands, my shoulders and my hips, you want that to be dead straight, because then it makes it much easier to lift into handstand. But as shown by my little diagram, it is not quite straight, partially because of my inflexible shoulders and just lack of experience, but yeah. I'm now moving on to trying handstand with some mini parallettes or press up blocks to protect my wrists a little bit. And as you can see, because of my shoulders, I've got a massive arch in my back, just throwing off my shape, making it really hard to balance without, you know, getting really ugly. So they're out of frame, but my feet are on the wall here. I'm just trying to push my head out, try to block out the angle, but you know, where I'm succeeding with my shoulders, my back and core is failing me. Also, I thought it was quite funny how when I landed the camera shook to move on to me there. Little perch press to handstand. I did do a little jump though, I'm not gonna lie, but I was pretty pleased I pressed at a good time there. I then move on to do some strut lift to handstand with some bent arms, but still pretty pleased. Yeah, that goes pretty well. I don't quite get the right angle though, so I come down straight away, but the press was valid even though my arms are bent. Now I was trying some, you know, flat hand handstands as shown, and the fact that I nodded there really shows you how low the bar is, but hey, I'm here to progress, not to dwell on the fact I can't do it currently. Now some tucked planche work. This one was slightly better than the first one, which I talked past, but you know, going red like a tomato, just trying to get the good shape. My bum is a little bit too high here, making a less greater than parallel angle. And here I thought I was a big man trying to try full planche, and I think the video speaks for itself how well that went. But hey, worth a try. Maybe that's a little benchmark I can hit in a couple months. I then went back to some shoulder stretching just to, you know, now that I'm like definitely loosened up, I can make advantage of, you know, my pliability, I guess. Again, doing the little bent arm trick just to, you know, give my elbows a bit less stress in between sets, I guess, of stretching. Here I'm trying a slightly new and unfamiliar stretch, which I saw on YouTube. Just trying to push the shoulder out and backwards, stretch out my pec specifically. I do a couple more of these off camera as well, but just to show you the premise, there's that. And then here is another great one. This is great for my stiff lats here. So hands on the wall, try to push the chest down, but you can see I'm kind of overcompensating by like rounding my lower back here, because I did it a little bit before this and it was massively arched, so it was just basically taking all the pressure that I was trying to put down to my shoulders. So you got to make sure to keep a tight core so that you don't, you know, just end up doing a lower back stretch essentially. Finally, to finish off and kind of benchmark my progress, I'm trying to do the overhead dislocate movement as narrow as I can. So here I'm able to get through there, so I think, you know, I'm going to take it a bit narrower. And here you'll see it pauses, and the little green dot about to appear is the metric I'm going to be using to measure my progress. So currently that is about 35 degrees, and we want to be getting that smaller and smaller so that, you know, just a quantitative measure of progress. So okay, that's all. Thank you for watching. I appreciate if you stuck around this long. It means a lot, especially for my first video. But yeah, let me know what you thought, if you want more or less of this. Next video will be one actual training, so you might see some, I don't know, some cool flips and stuff. But yeah, thanks for sticking around. I will see you later. Bye.